Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful design. It's a cover up that you can use as a blouse, as a dress. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see an English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. That you will find the English version in there. Also, you can send me a message and I can send you the link. Before I give you the material, I wanted to mention that I use 1 meter of material. And I changed the design as I did my piece because I didn't like the way I was going to do the sleeve. And then what I cut from under the arm, I added for the length because it was too short. You see? And at the beginning, I mentioned that I use a square for each side. So I have to add 1 more for that extra length, so it's 9 square for each side. So depend on the size that you're making this, and the length is the amount of square that you have to put together. So I wanted to mention that before I start with the design. What I add to the length was what I cut from here. You see, from the sleeve, I was going to leave that straight, doing a straight seam and leave it that open like that, like a flap all the way down. But after I pin it together and try it on, I didn't like the way it looked, and then it was shorter, and then I had to change the design. So that's why you're gonna see me doing some pinning, and then after in the same, I will explain how I did everything. So what I cut in here, that straight piece, was what I added in the lower part. So if you don't have to add, if you have the right length for yours, it will look amazing. But don't matter because it don't look like an afterthought for length. For a bikini cover up was too short for me. After I add this, it is perfect. Even for a top of a dress, or imagine a nice pair of pants, pink pants with a little crop top, it will look amazing. I absolutely love this piece. It's one of my favorites. For this design, these are the material I'm gonna use. These thread are 50 grams, a blend of bamboo and cotton, and this is a light pink, a little bit darker like a fuchsia, a green, and a white, is to make these granny squares. If you don't see in the video and how to make this granny square, I'm gonna leave the link. You're gonna see an eye, you click on the eye and I will bring you there, or at the end of the video. And the crochet hook was the 3mm. I'm gonna use as well this material. Is a 1 meter of material. It's like with embroidery like that, as a cotton material, and it's 1 meter. I'm gonna use my sewing machine to do this. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can do this by hand with small stitches. You can do this piece. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissors. Like I mentioned in the first video, I did the squares, but here I'm gonna leave the little clip where I attach them together, because in the first video I only did the squares. And after that, you're gonna work on the material. I don't know how many you're gonna need. That depends on the length that you're gonna give to your piece and how you're gonna make your piece. So I have 8 of these squares in this strip. They're absolutely gorgeous. I love this color combination. And 8 in this one. So now I'm gonna work with the material, and then after we'll attach this to our piece. I already attached these 2 squares together. That's what we're gonna do with the crochet hook in between. It looks really, really nice. So you're gonna get one of your square. You're gonna put it on the side, and then you're gonna do a slip knot. If you don't want to do it with a crochet hook, you can just sew them together with your tapestry needle. But I like the way it looks. So you're gonna create a loop, and then you're gonna come here. You have a space of 2 chains. You're gonna go to the first one. You're gonna pass your hook, and to the one on the other side, you're gonna pass your hook. and you're gonna come here from the inside out, and you're gonna pass the loop through both. I have to be very careful because this yarn is split a lot, so I'm gonna move out of the way the tail. So now you're gonna pass always through the one that you pass first. You're gonna go to the next chain space, you're gonna pass it through that, go to the one in the side here and the other one, and you're gonna pass it through the first one, the second one, and then this one. The loop is a little bit too loose. Yeah, it's a little bit too loose. So you're gonna go to the next one. The next one is the double crochet. So you're gonna pass it through that first double crochet, the one in this side double crochet, and you're gonna wrap the yarn, pass it through the first one, and then the one in this side, and then this loop on the top. The next double crochet, the next one in the other square. You only have to do this even. So in total there are 3 loops that you're passing through. You're passing first, you see you have one loop in the hook, you pass it through this one, you grab one and pass it through those 3. I think that first one is, yeah, that first one is a little bit loose there. I will fix that when I record in Spanish. So I go to the next one, and the next one on the other side. You pass it through the first one, the second one, and the third one. You go now to the next double crochet, pass it through that one, this one in this side, wrap around, and make sure that you're working very even. The next one, next one. And like that, you're going to continue all the way until the end. I'm going to show you what it looks like this. Oh, that looks fine there. Like that. Let me zoom in a little bit, that way you guys can see it. Oh, sorry, I moved the camera. But if you don't can see it with this, I'm going to show you just quick. I'm going to leave this here. I don't want to undo that. I'm going to show you with this color, that way you can see a little bit better. And if you do one, you can do this with one of the other color. You don't have to be with a white, but I like it with a white. So creating a loop, I'm going to pass it through this one here and this one. You're going to pass through those 2 loops. Leave the tail on the side, and you see you're going to pass it through this one in this side, and then this one. You're going to wrap, pass it through both. This one and this one, pass it through both. You're creating like a chain on top of the work, in between the stitches, like this. Well, look how nice that looks. But you're doing it with the white, so you can see the seam that much. So I'm going to continue with the white. When I get to the end, I'll show you how you're going to finish. And that way you're going to do all the square, putting them together. First, I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna create the piece. So my plan is, I already had front and back here. I cut it in half, like this. It's an absolutely gorgeous material, perfect for a bikini cover-up. So what I'm gonna do, my plan is to cut the front in half, only the front, and then I will sew the shoulder on each side, leaving in the opening for the collar. And then I will sew all the way around. I will hem this border in here. I do the hem and the lower part all the way around, and then after, for the opening for the sleeve, I will mark where I'm gonna sew, and I will sew probably around here, leaving the opening for the arm, and this will be like this. Okay, and I will do the same on the other side, and then this will go in the front. Only in the front I'm gonna put these like this, one on each side. Okay, so that's my plan. If I don't show you how I'm gonna sew exactly in the sewing machine, is because the camera is here above, and then if I put my sewing machine, you're only gonna see the top part of my sewing machine and you don't wanna see anything. But I will explain you every single detail what I'm gonna do with this. It's already cut in half, like I say. Where I'm gonna do the sewing in the shoulder, I only had to cut the front and in half. Here I cut these two pieces. Now I have the two pieces for the front. Now I'm gonna sew these to the back, leaving the opening for the collar. And this part of the collar, I don't gonna do anything now. I still have there that I can undo some stitches, or I can sew some more if I have to. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the hem all the way around here, the border of the lower part, the side and here, and then after that I will do the opening for the arm, and then when I put it on I will know if I had to do any change at the front and the collar. I want to do that way it fit properly. The hem I'm gonna do with this stitch that I have here from this dress. That way it look like it's part of the embroidery of the material. That will look really nice. So I already sewed all the borders and the hem. So now what I'm gonna do is mark where I'm gonna do the sewing for the opening of the sleeve and the body. I put it here in order to do that because I don't have any space on my desk to open this up like this. So I'm gonna sew it straight, leaving the opening for the arm, and this will be like this, you know, loose, using those type of bikini cover up, and opening there, the openings in the front. So I'm ready to pin this together. So I pin it in here, leaving this space for the arm, the same on the other side. Now I'm gonna try it on to see if that's the way and the size opening that I want. So I decided to continue working with this part in the center before I do the sewing in here, because when I try it on I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave it with this like this or not. So I want to finish this in the center, and then I will try it on and decide if I want it like this or not. If not, my other idea is to cut it straight here, and then here, remove this part, do the sewing like this, and leave it like that without this. That's probably what I do. I don't know for sure. So I wanted to finish this. What I know is that I have to close a little bit more here in the part of the collar because it's a little bit too wide right now, just like 2 centimeters or 3. Close it in on each side, and then I will show you how I want to put the crochet part on. Alright, like this is how I want to put the crochet part in the front. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Another thought that I had after looking this like this is that I can leave this open in the front and do a I-cord and put it in a zigzag in the front and close it like that, leave it open with just that tight in the front. I cut here for the front, so I cut like a triangle like here first, and then I cut a little bit deeper, you know, to be a little bit lower because it was too high up. And this is the 2 little pieces that I cut, you see, like this. And then I cut a little bit lower. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew all the way around the border, and look, I closed this in the neck as well because it was a little bit too open. It was like right here, so I close a little bit more. So I'm gonna sew all the way around the border, and then I will sew the crochet part. I hope you guys understand what I'm doing, because this is my first time, as you've seen all my videos, other than the one that I did with the little girl's dress. This is my first time doing some sewing here on camera, so I just try my best to explain the way I'm doing things. And I'm doing a straight sewing. The border of the hem is the one that I did with a zigzag. That way I look a little bit like embroidery, only that part. The other ones are straight. So I finished the sewing all the way around the border. Now is the fiddly part that you have to be careful when you sew, is the crochet strip, because you have to move it around in order to fit in here. I love this, it's absolutely gorgeous. So you have to make it even here, and you see, bring it around, stretch it a little bit there to get to the straight in the shoulder, and then move it around like this. And remember, you want to leave a little bit of this space outside. That way you can pass the I-cord if you do an open, or if you do a close as well. That way you can do the stitch as you do. You see, you wanna wiggle it around like this to create the bend. So depending amount of the yarn that you are doing this is the amount of granny square you're gonna need, depending on the length. So you have to be very, very careful not to stretch too much, not to pull it too much, in order to be nice and even. Honestly, I wish I had bought like 1.25 meters, that way it will be a little bit longer. What happened was I bought a meter because I was planning to do the design like the little girl's dress, and then after that I changed my mind. I wanted to do a little bit different. This like this, I absolutely love it. Like I said, I wish it was like the length of another granny square longer, but if you guys want, if it's too short for you, what you do is do a round of granny square all the way around the border, but with this accent is enough. This is for the beach, don't have to be long, just covering the top is plenty, even if the lower part is out. So like that is how I'm gonna be sewing this, and like I said, leaving this out. Even if you want to close this with the crochet hook, you can do it, but you have to leave this little border here out in order to do that, okay? But it's, I love it. So I'm gonna sew through the inside. I just cut the shape. Now I'm gonna sew this and try it on to see what it look like. So I finished that part, and when I tried on, it was too short. I decided I didn't like the way it looked. So since I had these pieces, where are they? That I cut from the side. Remember, I was planning to leave these in the side like that. I already have done all the border and everything. I decided to add this for length. So I'm glad I had two of these. So I already attached one here for the front. The other one will go in the other side. I'm going to explain you how I did that. But I already attached the two pieces because there were 4 pieces. I attached 2 to the back. Like this. I tried it on. I like the way it looked. I added 3 more inches. And it looked really nice. I left this open like that. It looked really, really nice. I just put it under and I sewed there. I had to even the inside and do the zigzag. I had to finish all that, but I just wanted to explain that. I even opened in the side here. That way I will leave this a little bit open as well. Well, that's the plan. And what I did for this with the other one is I came here, since you still have the border in here, I grabbed the next square and I attach it exactly the same as I did with these ones. So that's why it's like this, because I'm gonna attach that extra length underneath this one. I'll bring it here. So that will give me an extra 3 inches for the length. So I'll come around here, since that one have the border already. I will come and attach these like so. And you will never know that I had to do that because it was too short. I had to add length. It looked like the design meant to be like this. So what happened was, like I mentioned before, I only bought a meter of this, planning to do it just like this one, nice and simple, but hey, I decided to change my design, and that's why I ran into trouble, because I was a little bit on the shorter side. But with this, it look amazing. I will absolutely love it. Next time I go to Cuba next month, I will be taking this with me for the beach. From top of my bikini. It look amazing. I absolutely love it. So I will do this, attach the next one, so this here to add the extra length, and then do the I-cord for the front, and I'm done. So maybe you don't have to do this extra because you have more yarn. That's happened to me because, like I mentioned, I changed the design. But I really recommend, for a good length, from the length of 9 to 10 square, that will be the minimum. 8 square, it was, like on the line of my booty, just like there. So I needed to add a little extra, and this was the only way that I can add that a little bit length. But I really recommend for you to do 9 to 10, even more for the length. But you are a petite, maybe with 8 is enough, but I doubt it. 9 will be the best bet. So I'm gonna continue with this and finish. But I will explain this before I start the video. That way, when you start doing this, you know how many you're gonna need. I did this I-cord to tie in the front. I selected the hottest pink because I really like that pink. So what I did for this, I did a chain long enough. I didn't count the chains. I just did a long chain. I don't planning to close the entire thing. It's just from here probably, you know, 2 or 3 squares only, and leave the rest open. So that's why I don't need it too long, but long enough. So once you have the length that you want for your chain, you're gonna go to the second chain from the hook, and you're gonna do slip stitch, always leaving in the lower part only 1 strand out of the 3 and 2 for the top, because you leave 2 for the lower part, don't gonna be round. Like this, you're gonna slip stitch until the end to create your I-cord. This is the easiest I-cord and look really nice. And that's what I did for mine. You see? Look nice and round. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fit it in here. And you can do it from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top, whichever way you like. And I'm gonna crisscross here. I don't have to leave a lot of space because it's not as big, you know. So this one just for to close it. You can leave it open if you like, you don't have to do this. So I'm gonna crisscross it here, and I'm planning at the end to pass these beads. But first I have to do this because the beads don't want to pass through the little holes. So that's my plan. If I don't put the beads, I will lose those tails. And I'm done this. I'm gonna iron it and I will show you the end result. But I absolutely love it. I try it on and it look amazing. I close here the side. I was planning to leave it open, but I saw it right to the end. And what I did in the back, so I don't have a seam in the back, and and this was 2 pieces, I left this open in the back and it look amazing. Don't look like was an afterthought to give a length. It looked like the design was meant to be like that. So it look amazing. So I'm gonna do this and I'll show you the end result. So I put one of the beads, and the bead is perfect. It's like meant to be for this. It's because the outside is a light pink and the inside is like a white, and it's the perfect combination for this. That's why I'm doing the beads. It look amazing. So now I'm gonna do that with this one. So for this one, what I did, because this one's the one with the ends, I don't have an ends for this one, When I passed the bead through the core, I did a knot, let's say around here, and I left a little extra of the core, and then I undid that. That's the little pieces there. And then that thread, I pass it through and lost the thread. That way it's a nice, you see, tip, a little round. That way don't go through the little hole of the bead. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. This one I already have this, it will be easier. It looks like this on the back. Really, really nice. Now I'm going to show you in the front. Once you finish, it will look like this, and I absolutely love this cover up. You can use it as a blouse. You just close the string a little bit more, and it'll look amazing as a blouse, or on top of a dress like this, or for a bikini cover up. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And I hope you guys like it. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber, and if you make this beautiful design and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.